Every neighborhood had that one mean old lady who yelled at you on Halloween for ringing her doorbell and saying, "Trick or treat." Ours was Miss White. She was the definition of cranky, always ready to pounce at the slightest disturbance, especially on Halloween. One year, a few of us decided to egg her house, a big mistake. No sooner had the first egg hit her front porch than she bolted out of the house screaming at the top of her lungs as we sprinted down the street. The next day, we were playing tag football when Miss White came onto her front porch. She had her garden hoe in hand. With the crazed look in her eyes, she began yelling, "Heathens! Heathens! You left your candy, little heathens!" She shouted that about 15 times before finally going silent. The following morning, I woke up to the sight of police cars and ambulance outside our house. I overheard my parents talking about how Miss White had suffered a heart attack. I was stunned. Just the day before, she had been her usually angry self yelling at us. Fast forward 1 year, Halloween rolled around again. After a night of trick-or-treating, my buddies and I decided to have a sleepover. We set up a makeshift tent in my room, told scary stories, and eventually drifted off to sleep. Sometime in the middle of the night, I heard footsteps. At first, I thought it was one of my friends, but the steps grew louder and louder. I lifted my head, looked around, and to my shock, all my friends were still under the tent with me. I quickly woke them up, telling them I heard footsteps. We all knew it couldn't have been my parents. They were at my uncle's for an overnight party. My friend Ox lifted the edge of the tent, and to our absolute horror, there stood Miss White. She had the same garden hoe in one hand and 2 Halloween baskets in the other. "Heathens! Heathens! You left your candy, little heathens!" she shrieked. We bolted out the tent, rushing down the hall towards the stairs that led to the front door, but somehow she was already at the top of the stairs coming towards us, still yelling, "Heathens! Heathens! You forgot your candy, little heathen!" We dashed down the stairs, thinking we could escape through the front door. But just as we reached the entryway, she burst out the kitchen, still screaming, "Heathens! Heathens! You forgot your candy, little heathens!" We tore at the house, leaving the door wide open, and ran 5 blocks straight to my best friend's house. His parents didn't believe a word of our story, and neither did mine. But we knew what we saw, and till this day I still hear her voice in my head calling out, "Heathens, you forgot your candy." It's been 10 years and now I'm 22, yet I can still hear her. Every Halloween, her voice echoes in my mind, like she's still out there looking for kids who left the candy after ringing her doorbell.